Be advised, mature content ahead. This podcast is brought to you ad-free thanks to the Legion of Demons at patreon.com/NOTLP. If you like what you hear, there's much more at patreon.com/NOTLP. Join the Legion. That's patreon.com/NOTLP. And now the show.
How do you do? Just a word of friendly warning. I think it will thrill you. It may shock you. It might even horrify you. So if any of you feel that you do not care to subject your nerves to such a strain, now is your chance to, well, we've warned you.
Oh, Lord, thank you for checking out the show. If it's your first time, this is Night of the Living podcast, a discussion of horror, science fiction, and dark fantasy films.
Yes, we hope you stay.
And yeah, that's Kelley. I'm Freddy. Here's Amy.
Hello there.
Andy is here.
Hi.
And we're doing a whole month of ripoffs. So we're kicking it off this week with... I started to say This Ain't Jaws XXX because that's Andy's screen name, and I looked up at him when I said this. But it's a movie that goes by many names. Great White, a.k.a. excuse me, The Last Shark.
Great White is how I didn't realize this was that movie.
Yeah.
That's how it used to be on TV.
Yes.
You were thinking about the band.
Yeah.
It was.
Once bitten, twice, yeah, babe.
But rip this Band-Aid off.
Yeah.
I wish we left it on.
And then who reviewed Spree? Is it Andy?
Amy.
Oh, you son of a bee.
Yes, it was me.
So Andy is bringing the first candy review we've done.
Andy brings the candy.
To the Straight-to-Video Russian Roulette segment.
Andy's Candy is what we're going to start calling it.
They're dandy. And if you are interested in supporting the show, patreon.com/NOTLP, or you can go to NOTLP.com and find it there as well. But our patrons get all kinds of extras. You get Origins, which is a revisit of old episodes from the Before Times 13 years ago, something like that. Or are we 12 years behind?
Time.
Anyways, I think we're 12 years ahead now. But the show's this will be our 15th year. And gosh. The Origins.
Ooh, we're illegal in some states soon.
That's gross. That's disgusting.
So we revisit the Origins and discuss how much we were disconnected from maybe right and wrong, and
I don't know if we were completely disconnected.
And social norms and all that. But anyways, it's fun, and I think it's for us. It's like a little bit of therapy, I think, in a way. But that you get access to that. You get Topicana, which is this really fun, just bullshit. We pick a question and everybody responds to it.
Oh, and I have my question ready for you guys.
Ooh, I can't wait. It's a lot of fun. And then we also do Night of the Comic, which is currently on a hiatus, but we'll be returning soon with, we're going to do an episode devoted to From Hell.
Yes.
And am I forgetting anything? I think that's our current offerings on offer.
Sometimes we do High Five Happy Hour.
Yeah, and there's old porn. There's some porner stuff. There's a little experimental thing we did called Late to the Party, where because so many of us don't see things until they're out of fashion about that.
Yeah, we can easily do these shows, but we're lazy.
Yeah.
We're also very busy.
These are the sometimes shows you get. These are like extra. These are extra extras.
Yeah.
These are the carrots. These are the metaphorical carrots that are dangling in front of you.
Right.
You always get Origins. You always get Topicana. You always get Night of the Comic when it posts.
Yeah.
These are like extra extras.
Extra.
Not only do you get that, and Brian on one of our recent meetups said he supports a whole lot of other podcasts, but he gets the best value from us.
Did you hear that?
So
we are valuable.
We're like Costco in terms of podcasts.
So that's that meetup I was referring to. We meet up during the pandemic. We've been meeting every week on Zoom. And I feel like I'm addicted to having that meetup, and it'll probably just be part of my life from now on, regardless. It's just a great way to connect with everybody. Not crying. I have something in my throat, actually, literally.
It's just emotion.
He's not crying.
Oh my God. I spent a lot of yesterday crying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not like a lot of it. That's stupid, but more than I have recently. It's just like that moment where you realize that your body just needs to cry.
Yeah.
Oh, I know that feeling.
And they were happy tears. Like Phileas came over, and Phileas, if you don't know, Phileas is a dog.
Yep.
He was adopted by Freddy's parents.
He traveled around the world once
Yeah.
via balloon in 80 days.
He sure did.
He was their last dog.
He was adopted. Your dad was diagnosed with lung cancer, and then he's like, we're going to go get a dog. And Phileas is this beautiful little dumb boy.
Yeah.
And he came over yesterday for a little play date with the girls. And I just looked into his eyes and started crying. Because he's such a sweet boy and he means something.
It's very difficult to look in his eyes because they go in opposite directions.
Yeah, that's right.
He's got some pug in there.
He looks like Queen's Gambit.
Yeah. He looks so cute, but he looks real dumb too.
Yeah.
But he's really smart. But he's just real dumb.
He's a sweet boy.
He's beautiful.
And then later, I was watching a thing on Twitter where Joe Biden called this woman who's been out of work because of COVID. And I wasn't even listening to it. I was just watching the video and looking at the captions. And it's just the humanity displayed by both people in that video.
You know what?
Got me,
You bring
man.
that up. Joe Biden has made me cry so much lately.
He's got grandpa energy.
He's such a nice guy. Even that when he went to Dairy Queen and he turned the Dairy Queen upside down.
Upside down.
I was like, oh my God, that is so sweet. That is so grandpa-ish.
He's got BGE, you guys. Big grandpa energy.
And it's just such a goofy thing that you would expect to see.
Yeah.
I mean, especially after the last 4 years we had.
Right.
But he's just, like, what they say is empathy is his superpower. It is true.
It's true.
Like, damn it, Joe, you got me.
And I gotta say though, I'm not, and not to I'm sure I agree, but I do feel like after what we went through before, I feel like any person that just behaves like a human being who doesn't actively want to destroy everything and everyone.
They could be Jack the Ripper with grapes.
Of mean. Yeah. I think we'd be like, that person is a goddamn saint.
Yeah.
I like that. I like your analogy, Freddie, that Joe Biden is Jack the Ripper and we're the prostitutes.
And he gave us grapes.
He gave us some grapes.
And we haven't eaten fresh fruit in decades.
Governor. We're going to give you a nickel adventure. Beneath Nickels of mine.
I've always wanted to be a cocky prostitute.
Yeah.
A cockney prostitute.
A cocky cockney.
Prostitute.
Yeah.
I'm so arrogant as a prostitute.
You're like, this pussy the best.
Yeah. You're not wrong.
Y'all's rippers like this pussy so much you don't even rip me.
Oh, we'll be apologizing for that in 10 years.
That's fine.
I'll be dead.
Unless anyone think, oh, Amy, you're just so blinded by blah, 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 and Joe Biden isn't perfect. Duh, I know that. I'm just saying there was this, and it could have been as produced as, this woman could be, it could be all fake news. I don't care. It was just like this human moment that I got to see. And I got to hang out with dogs yesterday, and it was a lot. Okay. I am so, like, I now know people who are getting the vaccine. And it's like, we're so close, we can taste it. And
I don't want to taste it.
And I'm already starting to think about my next travels.
I can't wait. We're planning a Tokyo trip.
We're thinking about it, and I really want to do it, but it's like, it's almost too much to start thinking about those things because who the hell knows?
It's hard to have hope because every time you take one step forward, it seems like we're taking 2 steps back.
Right.
Yeah.
Because
opposites track.
I feel like the Super Bowl is this weekend, which was a surprise to me.
I know. I didn't know it was either until
weird,
Friday.
Yeah.
I was like,
I'm just afraid.
And normally I'm into it.
Yeah. I'm just afraid that this is going to be the next big super spreader event.
Mm-hmm. Well, they're not spreading it here.
No, they're not spreading it here either. The thing is, it's like I've come this far. I haven't gotten it. Freddie hasn't gotten it. I haven't even had a test yet. I feel like everybody's had a test. I know, knock on all the wood. And I can't go this far and then fuck up.
I understand what you're saying.
And it's like
I
terrifying.
dread it every day.
Yeah.
I have the same feeling. Also, I'll just apologize now for making fun of dead people from 2 centuries ago. Using that movie pimp voice when I did it. Like, that's whatever the problem is between those two things. I apologize.
People from 2 centuries ago aren't real.
I will say it's not genuine. That apology is not genuine.
Yeah.
Usually
Yeah, I
they
can
are.
tell.
on For Origins.
I'm not sure you needed to apologize.
I did.
That's good PR though. You're jumping ahead of the story.
Yeah,
So
I'm getting ahead of the. I'm getting. Ahead of it.
You're getting control of that head.
24-hour news cycle.
You haven't lived till you've seen Kelley work ahead.
Okay.
You haven't.
All right. Okay, everybody. Mm-hmm. Take your tits from up here to down
Calm
here.
them down.
Calm them down to here.
That's
Bring your
where his
tits down to
should be.
here.
Tits should
Just
be a
bring
nice
your tits
medium.
to a dull roar.
To a dull roar, please.
You know, 135 top, warm pink center.
What are you doing?
Oh, thought we were talking about different levels of doneness for steaks.
You're talking about steaks.
Got you.
Yeah, that happens.
Freddie, you're stupid.
I'm hungry.
You like a real pink, don't you?
I'm hungry. I want steaks.
So anything else going on? What should we talk about? Like, stuff's happening.
Stuff is happening.
I don't leave my house. I barely go outside.
What?
I don't know.
Mikey B and Amy and I started playing Destiny 2, which is a first-person shooter, and we are kicking so much ass.
Yeah.
The
So
joy
much ass.
I get, it's very cathartic, obviously, to just shoot things till they die and to yell things at those things you're shooting till they die. Like, suck on that bitch. You want me to shoot your dick off? Who wants their dick shot off?
She
And
doesn't.
things like
she
that.
doesn't say this to live players. This is her. These
are aliens.
to the computer-controlled aliens.
She's shouting at 12-year-olds
No,
over there.
I
I'd
want to
do
make
it if
sure
I
it's
had to.
clear that Amy is not trash talking children or adults.
Well, but the
computers.
best reason not to trash talk those children is so that they don't dox or swat you.
Yes.
Right, that too.
Not for any. I fuck those kids, but like,
I'll tell you what.
you don't want to make
this-
them mad because they'll come after you.
The thing is, Kelley, this game will rekindle your faith in humanity because you're all these different aliens getting together to fight off these bad aliens, but you can help. It's like cooperative. So like, I know there is a person versus person aspect to it, but the way we play it is cooperative. And if you see like a stranger who's been wounded, you can go help them up and get them back in the game. It's really fun.
That sounds fun.
But then you can yell at the alien, I'm going to shoot your dick off.
Yeah, and apparently I think it's cross-platform. Like if you have it on PC, you can
I
play.
have no idea. I just like to shoot at things.
Yeah.
Amy. Slippery slope.
I know, right? This
You
is
could
where it
be the next-
begins.
You could be the next Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Andy, that's rude. That is rude.
This is how she started, Amy. She was a gamer before all this.
That lady has never even played Pac-Man. She has never experienced any whimsy or joy in her life.
She's afraid to play it because she feels like Pac-Man's spying on her.
She's a
Was her
dried up
whimsy box
husk.
permanently removed,
Yeah.
or was she
No,
just never born?
it was
she born
never.
with them?
It was never there.
She doesn't mess with anything with ghosts. It's dark-sided.
She didn't fuck around with ghosts.
Yeah.
Speaking of, see now what we have been enjoying and exploring when our sci-fi shows that we watch get a little too heavy. We're enjoying watching the paranormal encrypted shows along with crime shows on Discovery Plus. Paranormal tapes, paranormal
What's
videos. I can't remember what it's called, but it's paranormal caught on tape. That's it.
That's my favorite.
Oh yeah,
That's
we've seen
awesome.
that one.
Yeah.
We've been watching a shit ton of that, and it's so fun. And what's great, like, first of all, don't try too hard. Like, don't go into it wanting to debunk, because it renders it not fun. And but some of them are harder to debunk than others. But then every so often they'll do an episode where it's clearly all just a bunch of crazy people.
Yeah.
We just watched one of those where it was like, this is a Tim and Eric sketch. I think. There's a guy in a church like trying to talk to a ghost, and that's what I was like, this guy he looks like he's trying hard not to crack up. But it was like the whole episode basically was ones like that where it was like, these people are faking. It was a bunch of like
It's
I love that.
like it's like who's trolling who? Is the guy trolling? It's the guy trolling the show, or is the show trolling the guy?
Oh, Kelley, the married news team from Tim and Eric's show would make a great paranormal investigation series.
Yeah.
That's all I have to say about that. Steve Brule, you know, he could be along with him. I could see Dr. Steve Brule with a PKE meter.
Absolutely.
I have a question for you, Kelley. Have you watched Twisted Sisters?
Not yet.
It's really good.
It is.
And I originally wanted to watch it because like Khloe Kardashian produces.
Okay, I never heard of it, but is it about sisters killing each other?
Not always.
Or other people.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is it super trashy? Because as you know,
No.
I do like the more. Oh, okay.
Because it's actually really well put together.
Yeah.
Nice. That's what. Because we do like the ones more that are more like murder tapes and.
I would say this is on par with Murder Tapes.
Nice.
But Murder
we see
Tapes
it.
doesn't have reenactments, though, right?
No, they do.
Oh, do they? I can't remember, but
I'm pretty sure sometimes they do. Yeah. It's not like a large part of it, but every now and again, I do think they have. I've seen reenactors for brief scenes in there, but mostly that's real footage. Yeah.
Yeah, Kelley, we started watching. What is that paranormal show with the cryptids and
the one he told us about.
That's what I'm saying.
Monsters and Mysteries in America.
Yeah, we started that, and you were right. I think. What did you call it? Like an old rusty bucket full of people, or a calamity.
But it's that works too. It's a real petri dish of humanity.
That was it. Yes.
It's
well,
fun.
that's not, I don't think that's what I said.
Well,
but
you said something to that effect, and I was like, you nailed it. Because we were watching it, I'm like, this is rough.
Yeah.
These are the QAnon people, I think.
Wait till you get. I don't know if you've got to the UFO abductee. That guy.
Oh no, I don't think so. Because I think I'd remember that.
The story behind that story that you can piece together for yourself is so truly dark and twisted.
All right, I'm ready.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
It sounds silly because you're like, this guy's just crazy.
But there is usually a sad real life reason all this.
But when
happens,
you really listen and you're like, oh, if you just take out that word and put in this word, that's what actually happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I got a question for you guys because you talk about all these murder shows and all these things like that. I've tried watching them, and I just couldn't do it.
Why?
Because it was just got to me too much.
Yeah.
How do you guys put up with it? I don't understand, honestly.
Well, my explanation might just be disturbing to you. It doesn't bother me. I mean, it does, like emotionally, like I'll be watching and I'll feel, sad for the victims and, upset by the circumstances. But ultimately, I'm just watching stories about things that happened.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And for me, it just, that's how it is.
Yeah.
I think ironically it's a comfort for me because growing up, Mom would play murder ballads for us all the time. And then when these shows like Dateline became popular, like we would watch Unsolved Mysteries is probably where it really started for us.
I'm just very comfortable with my own ghoulishness.
Yeah, I grew up in a ghoulish house.
Yeah.
I am a ghoulish person.
I used to watch Unsolved Mysteries too, but they didn't delve into the personal lives of these victims and the other people as much as these other shows do. And when they interview the families of the people, or interview the people themselves, I'm like, this is when I check out because it's a little too real for me.
There's levels. Yeah. There's levels of the kind of shows. So you have your Snapped, which is never going to make you feel bad about anything because it's so salacious in the way they talk about it. And then there are some of these true crime shows where it's that's too much. I can't watch that.
Vanishing Women was like that for me.
Yeah.
Because there was very little about the investigation, which is the part that I like.
Yeah, me too. Well, that's the part that anybody that has a heart and soul is like, can I just talk about that? Because that's easier for me to understand. And then there's catharsis in watching smart people try to fix things and take care of it.
You know what, though, to speak for the ones that, when they have the victims surviving family and stuff, I actually find a lot of strength in seeing people face the worst thing that could possibly happen to them. And then you see that every week. You start to pick up, you're like, could I do that? If something like that happened in my life, could I be as strong as this person they're showing who they build foundations. Like it tends to trigger like the best in people sometimes in a really interesting way. So it's a very complex thing that I'm getting out of it. It's not, for me, it's not about like wallowing in someone else's misery or anything like that.
Sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. I just want to say, like, also, I did go through a guilty period where I didn't want to see anything that was based on true crime at all. And, you know, I've talked about it on the show. When Fruitvale Station came out, there was stuff that was I was just couldn't watch it.
Yeah.
You know,
I can't even, I have a hard time even watching movies based on real life events or documentaries. It's hard for me to disassociate from that stuff.
I understand, but I also wanted to speak to about having the victim's family and such a focus on them. I do think too, it's for me, part of it is that I feel like I should have to listen to their part of the story.
Right.
Because this is how these victims, it's like, this is how they keep from getting forgotten, and they get to, because I think especially I think we've come more to that as true crime has sort of expanded into this huge genre that it is now. I feel like previously there was less focus on the victim story.
Yes.
And so I think it's very good now that we are hearing what these people were like in life, and we're seeing, and we're getting their story along with it. So even though it's uncomfortable, I think it's important for me anyway to hear about them as well.
Yeah, I like your reasoning, Kelley, because I remember there was a time where serial killers were, people idolized them, and they were trading cards and T-shirts.
Yeah, they still do.
That's still happening.
That really bothers me.
I feel like we're hearing like both sides of the story now, and
yes,
we realize that these people are monsters, and they shouldn't be held up, put on a pedestal.
Yeah, there just definitely is more of a focus on the idea that they're victims to these crimes, and those people were real people, and these were their lives, and they had loved ones, and you know,
they all lit up a room.
It is more emotional, but it also, I feel like I said, I think it's important to hear their stuff.
If I'm ever murdered, God forbid, I want all those shows to tell my story. I want like super sexy lady to play me in the reenactments, and then I want you to say, when you see my actual picture, go, well, damn, they really didn't cast. I want you to do that.
I always say either they really did that lady a favor,
or they fucked
really
them.
Did that lady a disservice.
Yeah. Like when you if you could see yourself cast like that in one of these things, especially like one, you're dead, you've been murdered, and now you're watching from whatever afterlife you have, and they're like, hey, did you hear the big news? Somebody else who was murdered is like, hey, your 48 hours is coming on. Did you hear who they cast in your reenactment? And they're like, oh my God, who did they cast?
They're gonna cast Linda Hunt for me, aren't they?
And they're like,
isn't she dead?
Oh, okay.
I think she is. Yeah, that would be like really a very tiny version of you, a very tiny old version. But no, they'll be like, oh, Ted Cruz has started acting, and he's gonna debut as you in the reenactment.
Whatever.
And
what a chameleon! Oh my God, he's stretching his acting muscles.
Yeah, he colored his beard for it.
Well, Amy, if God forbid, I get murdered, I want my reenactment to be animated.
Okay.
Ooh. Oh, like Animaniac style?
Yeah, like
what
Pixar
style?
It helps.
Okay.
It helps that you were killed by somebody dropping a piano on you.
Right on my head. That's it.
Well, little did he know the 88 keys.
It was only in my head, but you can see the rest of my body underneath the piano.
We're squishing him.
Oh, for sure, Keith Morrison has to do my Dateline, or I will haunt everyone everywhere.
The Wile E. Coyote had a Acme flying device.
And then when you haunt us, we can go on one of those paranormal shows.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to give you a whole new career.
we were able to pull the coyote's DNA from the red button on the giant spring with the giant punching glove on
plus
it.
The semen we found on the victim.
And then there was all that semen that we found on that Roadrunner's body.
Oh, we're talking about Roadrunner? I thought we were talking about Amy still.
I remember he'd come into the room and just go, meep, meep, and light up the place.
That's Bugs Bunny talking.
That'd
be actually a pretty fun cartoon.
Yeah, he finally kills the a true crime style.
God, I want to be killed
retrospective
by TNT.
We have all the Looney Tunes characters.
That damn Acme company.
That is a great idea. Like, he finally kills the Roadrunner, but like, did he really?
Is Elmer Fudd the investigator?
Oh my god!
And the big dumb like security guard character.
They got him. They got him on tape saying "Wabbit, Waska wee Wabbit." It's gonna come out at trial. It's gonna be explosive.
Oh my god!
And you won't believe what Yosemite Sam said. Just make sure you tune in to find out.
Something offensive.
Assassin, frassin, succotation.
And all that.
Darnation. I don't know.
Are we ready to move on?
I don't know.
Let's move it.
Yeah, I guess so.
Move it.
Hello, boys and girls. It's time for Straight-to-Video Russian Roulette.
For all of you out there who don't know me, get ready. Because you're about to know me. Hey, I don't see any cops around. Should I blow this next one? I'm Kurt. Hey guys. What's up, guys? We're gonna inject this right on the label.
Does this water have like a taste to it?
Airtight. Well, watertight. If you're not documenting yourself, you just don't exist. The mouthfeel on this? Otherworldly. What we're doing here is important. We're creating a brand. You're following me, you guys! Fuck yeah!
Your fucking gun?
You don't know what this job's like. You
Put
don't
that
know.
fucking gun
No.
away.
Where are you going?
I'm taking you home.
This is not the way to my fucking house, Kurt.
Oh, no, not your home. My home.
Wow, that looks really cool.
That's a pretty cool trailer. Yeah.
So, Spree, not the movie, not the candy. It's about Joe Keery, you know, the guy from Stranger Things.
Yep.
With the hair.
Yeah.
He is a Uber-like driver. The company is called Spree, hence the name. And he is desperate for attention. Like, he wants to be one of those. What are they called? Vloggers? Is that still a word? Influencer, vlogger?
Yeah, I think influencer is the catch-all, right?
I don't know. I'm old.
I don't know these things. You ask me what the difference between Anacin and aspirin is, and I'll tell you.
I don't know the lingo the kids are using nowadays. But he is desperate for attention, so he gets this bright idea to bump his numbers up, to kill people whilst driving, to kill all of the people he picks up. And he thinks he's going to get fame from this, which is kind of, it was weirdly prescient. The lengths that people go for attention and how much they broadcast, especially nowadays, because some guy just got killed. Have you guys heard about this?
What is the story?
It was a guy, he had a YouTube channel, and it was about he would do pranks, and this prank went awry where he approached some guys with butcher knives to pretending to attack them.
Oh my god!
But the guys they fake attacked had a gun on them, and they shot and killed this guy.
That was pretty stupid. Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't be so stupid.
Yeah. So
I think that every time I see those killer clown videos, I'm like, they're gonna get hurt. Somebody's gonna get hurt.
And somebody finally did. And it was just interesting to see this guy broadcast his crimes, especially after the insurrection that happened earlier this month. And everybody at the Capitol was just brazenly just filming themselves on their phones and tagging themselves and posting everything.
Yeah, that actually, speaking of those murder shows we just watched one about swatting where this guy, his crime kink was he would call in these fake bomb threats, or he'd call 911 for these murders on other people to get them like busted in on and to waste the cops' time and to get them, to do this. And finally somebody got shot because they were mistaken for someone who really did something.
Jesus.
But he would they couldn't find him because he didn't have pictures of him, but he would talk about it on his Twitter. It was pretty smart the way they caught him, but also like, I feel like, well, anyway, it was just I get it. Same thing.
Yeah. It's just, this movie is very of its time. And I guess it appeals to you more if you understand this world, because for me, it's hard to satirize something when the thing they're satirizing is inherently silly, to me at least, and over the top.
Yeah.
Because like you look at this stuff and like I just don't understand it.
You mean what particular?
Like content creators and like
okay, I got
influencer culture and YouTubers.
I thought you meant giggers.
No, not gig. Yeah, like YouTubers and influencers. Like that whole culture is just so weird to me because I don't watch anybody on YouTube. Like there's people that broadcast every bit of their lives and
TikTok or all that.
Yeah.
I don't. All I know about that kind of culture is what I read on like Reddit, like cringe or like, where they are making fun of these things. I don't understand it. But I think I understand enough to get what's happening in at least the trailer. I haven't watched the movie, but I don't want any Uber drivers to get any ideas. There are already enough of them out there being sexually not cool to their female passengers or things like that.
Yeah. So I'm just looking at this from an old person's lens. It was effective to me because, it's like that thing like you see on Dateline, like, oh, the kids are doing this and so like I feel like that a lot. I feel like that a lot sometimes. Like
we were watching Blackish. They did that animated episode at the beginning of the pandemic. And there's a moment where someone's going to change the channel on the news, and she's on the evening news, and they were talking about how that's the older demographic, and they're about to change the channel. And she says, "Don't change the channel. I want to know what silent killer is under the sink."
So give us
fun, or my kids having sex at the mall.
Yeah, rainbow parties.
So watching this movie about streamers and influencers it's a very foreign world to me, so I don't know how accurate the world that they're satirizing is, but I liked it. It was Joe Keery he's pretty good. Like he's a pretty sleazy looking guy anyway.
I love him. He's great.
Maybe it's because the hair, it's just real greasy. And I associate greasy with sleazy because
greasy and sleazy.
Because they rhyme.
This is my friend Greasy from the Sturlac system, and this is Sleazy. And this is Sneezy from the Seven Dwarfs. I got them all.
Sneezy from the Jeffersons.
This is Wheezy here. I brought all of my Wheezy's friends. Greasy, Sleazy.
But I think the best part of it was
Wheezy.
Oh my God, Cat Freddy.
I know.
Go on.
Should I go on though?
I don't know. Should you?
But I think the best part of the movie is his performance because he captures like the desperation and the craziness of these influencers pretty well. Because he's always like, "Hey, tag me in this.
Yeah,
like for like stuff like that." And I don't know if people actually do that, but like I said, I'm an old person. I feel like,
oh yeah, it feels crass, right?
Yeah, but it's just interesting to see this from. I would have liked to watch this on my phone because a lot of it is filmed from the perspective, like first person, like forward-facing camera because he's recording everything. But it's like, I remember last year when we went to the Polynesian for our vacation, and that's when influencers in the wild started popping up.
Yeah. And we saw some in person.
Yeah. And we were kind of on the lookout for that type of stuff. And we saw people, trying to get the perfect shot and taking multiple, shots of, stuff.
Like white balance meters for a picture of you with Mickey Mouse and
Exactly. So again, like, I'm approaching this from an old person's perspective, and I don't want to judge people for doing these things, but to me, it's just a kind of a ridiculous.
Can you shoot it through this donut? Just shoot us through the donut, but the donut is out of focus, but we're sharply in focus, but we're only this big. We're right at size. The donut's huge.
But you need to make sure that you can still tell it's a donut, but it also needs to be blurred out.
Mm-hmm. It's important that they don't see the baby bump, but that they have to look in the donut's frosting for clues. It's a birth announcement.
So I guess I like this movie, but I appreciate it more as a commentary on the current culture than the movie itself. I mean, because I don't know the culture, so I don't know how successful this movie is about skewering it. But from what I saw, I enjoyed.
Yeah.
And they do the thing where, like in Hostel, that should I feel sympathy for these victims because they're awful people?
I think that's a gentle way of letting the audience off the hook a little bit.
Yeah.
It's always like, we'll make them, we're killing a lot of people. Can we just make them all kind of bad?
Yeah. Because everybody he picks up is real annoying, but I don't necessarily think that they deserve death.
But some do.
Yes,
not necessarily.
It's very vicarious, which makes me feel kind of gross a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, we were just talking about how much I enjoy mowing down aliens and shooting things because it's cathartic. None of these people are real, Andy. Enjoying their deaths doesn't mean anything beyond that the movie did its job.
Well, is at one point, like, Frankie Grande is in this movie.
Oh,
I saw that in the trailer. Yeah.
And he's like prototypical influencer, like famous for being famous.
He kind of is that in real life.
You do mean him, right? Not his character?
He doesn't play Frankie Grande, but I just recognized him as Frankie Grande, and he's playing like this real annoying influencer type.
Which
he's playing like an extreme version of himself.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So like, for me to know that, like, hey, like I find him annoying, but I don't want him to die. But his death was satisfying because
if you ever wanted to see Frankie Grande die, here's the movie for you.
But he died in a very creative and fun way,
and I appreciate that.
Yeah, but it was just.
Did they pound him till he was flat, like paper thin, and then they wrote a letter on him, and then they folded him up, and they put him in an envelope, and then they mailed him to his mom?
And he had to make sure he got the perfect picture before he died, too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, #death. Bye.
And the letter just says, snail mail is still the best way of communicating. Signed, the Twitter killer, the Instagram slasher.
Oh, I like that one, Freddie. Like hashtag. But I just found his death really funny because it's very cartoony, but this movie is very grounded. So, like, I like those, moments of extreme as
Andy, you're very grounded.
You're grounded.
You didn't mow the lawn this week.
What did
You're
I do?
supposed to
You're
mow the
grounded.
lawn, and you were playing Mario Kart.
It's winter. Not supposed to mow the lawn in winter.
You are so grounded.
You didn't mow it back in September.
It's just been sitting there like that this whole time.
So I saw the trailer only. Is it all that kind of style of footage that it's all it's stuff
all
he's filming?
Yeah, it's all like live streaming type of filming.
That's creepy.
That's fun.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, that's why I think it would have been really fun to watch this on my phone to get
it would have been a great Quibi show, huh? This is perfect for Quibi. Was this supposed to be a Quibi movie?
No, it's funny. You brought up Quibi, and I was like, wait, what is Quibi?
Right?
Yeah. It's like a brand that you'll like. What's a brand from our childhood? Someone would be like, I don't know. Noxzema? Yeah, like something that you can't even see anymore. Like
Nuprin?
Yeah.
Blackjack gum. Nuprin.
Little yellow different?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like that's going to be Quibi is this generation's Nuprin.
No, Nuprin was useful.
Yeah. No, I mean the brand recognition aspect. It's one of those things where you're like, wait a minute, did that exist or did I make that up? Is that a Berenstain Bear situation?
Yeah.
Or a Berenstain Bear conundrum?
But it was only a couple of months ago, but you said, I was like, wait a minute, what is Quibi again?
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to tell you, like, my memory is getting, like, way more squishy.
Yeah, mine too.
Swiss cheesy. And I don't know if it's pandemic related.
Mm-hmm.
Or I turned 41. This is what happens.
I think it's 41.
There's the aging, and then there's all the other stuff too.
Well, everything that has happened since like March of last year to now just feels like it all happened yesterday or 5 years ago. So I'm looking for a new roulette movie for next week, and then this has been kind of my experience over the last few weeks. I'll see a movie and I'm like, I don't know if this is a good choice. Did we already do this? Did we not? Like, I have to search every time because I'm not remembering anymore.
Yeah. Well, it all blurs together. And the titles, man. Titles. I mean, what do they really mean?
I don't like that. I'm becoming more like Freddy.
Salon Dijon.
The longer it's just us in this house and us
you guys
every day.
become the same person.
Well, that's just been happening more and more. But like...
Amy's beard is coming in nicely.
It is. It really. I need to probably pluck a little right there. Yes, ladies can get chin hairs. It happens. Ask every lady in your life,
or
and we pluck them and we move on.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
A fantasy dwarf.
Yeah. So, Andy, you recommend this movie?
Yeah, I do recommend it. But it's. I think your relationship to this type of thing, like influencer culture, would kind of colors what you think of it.
It'll influence how you see
oh
the
my
movie.
God, I've been inceptioned.
This reminds me of that time that I had an Uber because you guys were going to a comedy show and I met you for dinner.
Yeah.
Oh, and yeah, you had that weird Uber.
I had that guy who
poor man.
He just stopped the car in the worst neighborhood, like where we constantly have shootings, and just stopped the car and we sat there in silence for a minute before he's like, my car broke down. And I was like, oh man, I'm sorry. Like, but I'm like, here it goes.
Yeah.
Here's the end.
And Kelley and me and Alise are all laughing at Patton Oswalt and Freddy's being murdered.
Dramatic.
Wouldn't that be terrible?
No, that'd be amazing for a couple of stylistic reasons. Pat Oswalt's telling jokes. It's kind of like the end of the Goodfellas, where you have the montage of just there's you guys laughing your asses off at Patton Oswalt while a little bit of like some fun music, like "Funeral for a Friend" by Elton John plays, and then they cut back to the guy just tearing my uterus out.
Yeah. Well, if it makes you feel any better, it wasn't his best show.
Oh no!
I mean, it was good. I've
good.
never seen him live before, but it wasn't my favorite set.
There's a lot of crowd work, a lot of sort of just open-ended crowd work. However, real quick, not to be advertised for other people, but both Maria Bamford and Patton Oswalt both have virtual concerts coming up this month. $15, at least for Maria Bamford, you can get on public text to watch it live, and I think for both.
And if you have an Oculus Rift, right, you can like walk up to them and like touch them and stuff.
Push them off the stage. Yeah.
These
fall off.
These virtual comedy events are getting very advanced.
Mm-hmm.
So, Andy, you recommend this?
Yeah, sorry my review is very rambling.
It's
but
okay. You did great.
I didn't want to. I feel like my commentary was more about the culture than the actual movie.
That's what you wanted to talk about. When it's your time for your review, you talk about what you want to talk about.
That's what the movie inspired in you.
You're a rambling man.
That's what I've heard.
Stops. Oh, it's Traveling Man.
Huh? Okay.
Traveling Man.
No, it's Traveling Man.
Which one?
I'm a traveling man. I got that mixed up with Lord, I'm a rambling man.
Oh yeah, but that's isn't it a traveling band?
No, I'm thinking.
Oh no, that's we're an American band.
Well, then there's also
I was thinking
in a rock and roll band.
I like that song.
That's a good song.
That's the Moody Blues.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a good era of Moody Blues.
My mom was a big Moody Blues fan, so I had to hear that a lot in the car.
I'm just a singer in a rock and roll band.
All right. Let's see who's going to be up next.
Let's see who's going to be up.
This section of the show. We're going to pass around this Jack in the Box, and you're going to crank. And we're going to see who
crank that booty.
Ultimately cranks it all the way open.
Jesus.
Where? I'm up first. I'm safe. I'm going to pass it off.
Seamless, by the way, Amy.
Thank you. I'm gonna pass it off to Freddy. I hate you. All right, you can turn that off now. God, I can't hear myself think. I'm pretty sure we haven't.
Help but like it a little bit.
I know, it's fun.
You're like, oh, this song slaps right here.
Slaps, man.
It's Kelley. It's funny that you say that song slaps because the character Joe Carey played, he said that all the time.
Well, if you want me to be honest, it's the boys say that all the time.
Oh, okay. So
I see it on the internet.
This is the first time I've used it in real life. But it rolled off my tongue. It wasn't a put on. Like it's become. They say it so much that now
it's just funny because you're like. You remind me of like Steve Buscemi in 30 Rock. Like, what's up, fellow children?
That was so great.
Hey, we're still cool. We can do stuff like this if we want.
Cool. I know a lot of slang.
All right. So the movie that Freddy will be reviewing next week is called Ghosts of War. I'm pretty sure we haven't done it before. I double checked.
Cool.
Starring some people, but it doesn't matter. 5 battle-worn Allied soldiers guarding a chateau previously occupied by Nazis start experiencing unexplained and terrifying supernatural horrors. Do you know who is in this movie, you guys? Your favorite, my favorite, Billy Zane.
Oh.
Hey.
It's also got Kyle Gallner, who is like in every mid-2000s horror movie.
I don't know.
And then obviously from
I
Veronica Mars. I forget his character's name now. He was the younger brother of Dick.
Oh, Beaver?
Beaver.
Show.
Say Dick and Beaver.
Dick and Beaver. I forgot.
Beaver.
Yes.
That was so funny.
Yeah.
Oh, anyway.
So there you go.
I guess we're ready for that main attraction. Have you guys saved room?
Mm-hmm.
I'm ready, man. Whew,
I filled up on bread.
Oh, that's how we get you.
So lonely, I see you as the sun is going down.
Port Harbor is a quiet summer resort with its pleasure boat enthusiasts, skin divers, and windsurfers. It may be one of the most peaceful places on earth. But in the world of blackness, beneath these waves, there are no days, no nights, no seasons, only endless existence. And a being whose only thought since the beginning of time is his ravenous desire to feed. Port Harbor has been invaded by the ultimate predator. A beast against which there is no defense. Nature's perfect killing machine. The great white shark. Great White. The terror begins March 5th.
Oh, Lord. I love that.
If you had taken all the slow-mo parts and just made them regular speed, this movie would only be about 45 minutes long.
What's this movie is bad. Every stretch.
It's a failure.
It's a failure. But I will say, if you're it's like a good like hang and drink some beers with friends and laugh at a thing movie.
Yeah.
I wanted it to be more that.
Yeah.
I knew it wasn't going to be good, but I didn't have as much fun with it as I was hoping to. Don't get me wrong. It's laughable. And there were laughable moments, but it didn't.
But the deepness of the rip-off nature of this movie runs so deep that
it runs so deep.
It's not only a rip-off of Jaws. Like there's a rip-off of Bob Dylan performing on the beach that you heard in the trailer. Yeah. Like there's a literal rip-offs of characters from Jaws.
Yeah, that's what I mean. The Scottish Quint.
Yeah. Vic Morrow.
I caught him Squint.
The fact that they use a rubber ball to be a stand-in for the yellow barrels. And you just see, like, you're supposed to be afraid of this pink ball that just keeps, like, attacking windsurfers.
This movie, all those reasons it's a ripoff, you also have ripping off of limbs and body parts.
Oh, the guy Freddie Mercury, cameraman.
Well, I think the shark in this movie is a leg man.
Yeah, he's also got a cute little smiley kind of face.
Yeah, he's a big chubby shark.
He ate his legs.
Yeah, and when he pursued things that were underwater, he still would poke his head up out of the water like, hey, I gotta be up here and do this because I'm not comfortable down there underwater where I normally find food.
Yeah. Oh, boy.
So the Jaws series, I understand that Jaws it is a perfect movie, but then it kind of the sequels get ridiculous. The shark does ridiculous things, and this movie before those sequels existed was like, hold my beer.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go there before Jaws even has time to think about it for the sequels, and I'm gonna do this dumb stuff.
Well, it is more like it's like they took elements from Jaws 1 and were like, let's make Jaws 2. Because the shark did escalate in Jaws 2. It took down a helicopter and a whole bunch
which
of
happened first in this.
Right. Happens in this. Mm-hmm. So they the ripping off is, I mean, there's so it's but as Andy pointed out, they only kind of half-ass do it. Right, even.
Because like this, I looked at Amy, I said, this could have easily been Jaws. Like had enough things went wrong.
If with a less talented crew, and
because Vic Morrow's like a legit actor. He was really good, but like, of course,
I was surprised at how ambitious this was.
Yeah,
there was a lot of people in this movie.
The opening was ambitious. It was so long.
There was a lot of sets and stuff, and a lot of extras, and a lot of planning.
Yeah,
and a lot of underwater shots.
Oh, so Andy, about those underwater shots.
I get it. It was not.
No. Like as soon as this movie ends, Prime has another movie called Cruel Jaws.
Oh, okay.
It uses all the same stock footage from The Last Shark, of them diving. At first, I saw them suiting up in the dive suits. I said, "That's weird. That looks like the same logo that was on the wetsuit."
Oh, it's the exact same footage. It's not just stock footage. They're using footage from
the movie, which we don't know for sure if that was supposed to be Vic Morrow. Like that could just be two guys scuba diving that both movies just bought from some company. Says we need one where it looks like he's pinned. Which seemed to happen a lot to our Squint character in this.
Squint.
Yeah.
That's what Andy calls him.
I know.
Is it because when you squint, he could be Quint?
He was doing Scottish, I think, ostensibly.
He was doing It was a Minbari accent from Babylon 5.
Sometimes it was Bronxy. Sometimes it had kind of a Middle Eastern flavor. And then sometimes he was clearly trying to do Scottish.
Sometimes he spoke in clicks and pops.
Now, was this movie dubbed?
Yeah, and here's the weird thing about this director.
I'm not sure if all of it was.
He's Italian, and he likes to make movies here, though. Like he made like that movie we were talking about, Bronx, 1990, The Warriors. I don't know if I butchered that title or not, but you can find it. Same director, although that's a better movie.
Your mind was blown when you found this out. Like, oh my God.
It was such a weird coincidence that we were like, you brought this movie up on the same day that I was talking about that one. But he likes to come here. Like he filmed those in New York, and like he came here and filmed in Georgia to make this. And they would film, the way I understand it, most of these Italian directors, they would film each scene once in Italian with everyone that spoke Italian, and again in English with everyone who could speak English, and then they would also overdub the ones who couldn't.
Yeah.
So that's why sometimes you'll watch them and you'll be like, that is definitely him talking, and then another actor will talk and it's out of sync.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's why I thought it would explain his many accents, because the Italian person dubbing it didn't know which way to go.
Oh no, that was all him.
Yeah, he's bilingual.
Yes.
And also Vic Morrow?
Yeah, I believe he spoke Italian and English.
But in this he was speaking English in all the scenes and with a weird accent.
So what I thought, so when you tell me it's a ripoff of Jaws, I knew what to expect, but I was kind of, it shocked me because I'm like, wow, can you really do this?
You can.
So instead of what happened in Jaws made sense to me. The town, it's a seasonal town. The summer and having people come for 4th of July is going to keep everybody afloat for the rest of the year.
Pun intended?
Very much not, but I will accept it. But then in this one, it was a windsurfing contest as part of their regatta that I couldn't really tell. Has this ever happened before? Is this the first regatta, the second regatta? Is it a tradition? I don't really know.
It happens all the time because the one guy, they're like, he always wins.
Oh, okay. So that's,
and
yeah,
it is so like, what's so funny is clearly, as is the case with so many ripoffs, the writing behind this was incredibly incompetent. So they looked at Jaws. They didn't think about anything. They were just like, we just got to hit. So we can't do the mayor.
Right.
So let's have this other political guy. But there's like no thought
Kelley,
as to what
he's running
doing.
for governor.
If you look at the trivia for this on IMDb, it says shortly before the film's release, Universal Pictures sued the producers, claiming it plagiarized Jaws, and the Australian distributors for breach of copyright regarding Peter Benchley's book Jaws. Ooh. Universal won an injunction, and the film was pulled from theaters.
Nice. Good.
As it should have been. Like this, you can't just do this.
It's a trash movie.
So regatta.
It's funny you brought up Peter Benchley because the hero's character name is Peter Benton.
Yeah.
And he's a writer.
So they didn't even try.
Why
did you know in Japan this was a sequel to Jaws?
They didn't know, and they just built it as such?
It was released as Jaws Returns, and it was marketed as the sequel to Jaws.
Well, that's like Plankton being called like Piranha 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Things were
Troll 2.
Without the internet, you could get away with more things, I think.
Yeah.
Back then. This movie, yeah, so you have a windsurfing contest that they don't want to cancel because it's too important to the town.
That opening windsurf, and that guy's like crotching balls.
Forever.
He was just displaying and like his prowess with posing. That went on.
Is windsurfing more exciting than I know? Because it is not.
Did you guys know?
Does this whole movie, the opening?
Yeah.
I like how he kept dipping his butt in the water, and I didn't know, is that a thing that windsurfers do?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, it's like a limbo type of thing.
I thought he shit his pants and he was just trying to wipe the.
Oh, that would have been a good way to handle that, though. You don't have to stop windsurfing. You could just let the ocean take your turds away.
And that's how. But that's like chumming. That's how that shark.
Yeah.
It's a shit shark.
Eat my
it's
shit.
It's in a scat.
Yeah.
Hey, did you know there was a riff tracks for this?
It makes sense.
Because that's what first came up when we looked it up to rent it.
We're going to have to watch that.
I will have to watch the riff tracks because that sounds perfect.
No, I like that idea, but there are stretches of this movie where nothing happens. So how can they riff on that when nothing happens in the movie?
What do you mean?
They're professional riffers.
If you take all the tension out of Jaws, and then you take all the tension out of anything that exists in your life, this movie is still.
If you want to be completely relaxed.
Well, I do. So that's why I appreciate this movie, because it asked nothing of me.
It really didn't.
It just asked that I keep my eyes open
It said,
Who's it?
"Hi, I'm here to entertain. My
Which was
name,
hard for
my
me,
name
actually.
is Jaws Returns. If you're Japanese,
I mean, I'm not saying that this is a good movie, but
No, I
if
know.
you're in that frame of mind right now where you cannot be tested or challenged in any way by any art because your heart is too hurt.
Well, Amy, I had the opposite reaction of you because I was so busy trying to pick out what they were copying in Jaws to turn my mind off.
It felt like work to you.
you had to work to pick it out.
No, but I wasn't looking for like all the scenes. Like, how many scenes are they going to copy?
All of them.
As you know, I don't always love like bad. It's good.
Yes.
But I knew what I was getting into. I knew it was going to be that. So I was ready to appreciate it on that level. You know what I mean? I went into it ready. I was like, this is what I want today.
He ready.
And then it still didn't really give that to me. Like, it just wasn't goofy enough. Like, it was like.
Yeah. At first I was like, this is so boring. But then it has these little pockets. Yeah. Little pockets, but it made up for all the stuff that didn't happen.
I feel like I'm on the other end of that spectrum from you. Like, I'm on just the other opposite side of that borderline where the little pockets didn't make up for the boring shit for me.
I mean, I watched this movie by myself, and there were times where I literally laughed out loud because it was just so stupid. Like, this movie thinks that sharks are made of explosives.
Yes.
It thinks that sharks. I mean, I don't know anything about sharks. So what do I know?
Everything I know about
You know
sharks.
so much more about sharks than anyone who was involved in the making of this film.
But I do know,
guarantee you that
every grocery store in a 20-mile radius around this town was out of meat because everybody was buying meat to lure the shark. Everybody was buying hunks of just big old hunks of meat.
That was one thing it did do. Not only did it want to copy Jaws, it was like, let's take these scenes and then plus them. Let's make it like so. Yeah. He's like, look, no, we're gonna blow people's fucking dicks off. You know the guy in the pond where the boat flips over and Jaws bites off his leg and you barely see it. Like that. What is that? We're gonna have our shark blow him out of the fucking water. People, if you think
you'll believe a shark can fly,
when they saw that this is going to make them, they're going to shit their pants in the theater. We might be liable for all the shit cleaning up of these theaters.
You know. What are you gonna say, Andy?
That's one of the scenes where I like the many scenes like of the sharks hitting something and you just see the dummy just shoot up in the air.
Those are my favorite moments in the movie.
These stupid scenes made up for the stretches where nothing happened.
And I love the rag dolls they use for like divers.
It's like they didn't even try to make him look human. It's like just tossing a Barbie doll in the air.
They did that. They had a little rubber shark figure that they used underwater.
That was so cute.
So when the shark was trying to like close off the underwater cave, and then they were just ramming this little rubber shark and it would bounce off.
That was the most endearing thing. It was like little kids reenacting Jaws, and it made my heart explode.
That's actually, Freddie, you fucking nailed it. That is exactly what it was like. Those people don't even know what a shark looks like.
Right.
They just had, it was like one of them, because they didn't have VCR, or VCRs were very new. They maybe didn't own one yet.
Yeah.
And so they'd only seen Jaws twice when they saw it originally in 1975, and then maybe once on TV. And so they were like, I don't know. That's the only time I've ever seen a shark. I think this is what it looks like.
I would love for them to have actually also ripped off the deeply personal scenes from Jaws.
Oh, yes.
Like where he's at the table with his son, Sheriff Brody, and they're doing peekaboo together.
Yeah.
If all that stuff was in there. And then they also brought back the Hooper affair from the novel.
See, I was wondering if
the thing that really was good to have removed from that movie.
Yeah.
So there really was no Hooper character. There was a Squint.
He was a
and a Peter Benchley.
He was an amalgamation.
I called him
Hooper
Grody.
and Quint.
Grody.
Grody.
We've got Grody and Squint.
Squint and Grody. And if there was a Hooper, it would have been Pooper.
Pooper.
They even ripped off they even did a rip off of the line about the head, the tail, the whole damn thing. Because he was like, I only want one thing.
Yeah.
Just the head.
Just one head.
It sounded like you said just some head. and then the governor, guy's like, did you say some head? And he's like, just the head. And he's like, it sounded like you said some head. He's like, I didn't. And then the movie ended.
I don't care to talk about the plot at all. It doesn't matter, but because it's Jaws. So I guess it becomes famous that there's this vicious shark out there killing people, and they get this like cowboy with a big gun, and he comes and he's gonna take care of business. And so he's chilling out on the dock with a bunch of people, and then the shark like separates that dock from the rest of the dock, and then everybody on land just goes, sucks to be them.
They didn't do anything.
And the people on the dock are like, get a fucking boat. But what's really happening is the TV guy, he's evil. And he doesn't want to help them because he wants to get really good shark attack footage. And I'm like, how is he influencing everybody on the land to not get a boat to help these poor assholes?
He is a reporter. This was a movie also that didn't understand. I'm not trying to pick on the Italian director, because this is something that would happen like even to Sergio Leone, where they don't actually know what America like geographically is like.
Right.
So like, like in some of those old spaghetti westerns, they put like Chicago in the Old West because they just know it's a famous city. I feel like this was very much like that. Like we don't really do windsurfing regattas like that. Doesn't even look like American waters. Like I know it is because it's Georgia, but like it's just
Georgia.
Was there even a beach in this movie?
Sort of. But like, so the cowboy guy with the big gun, who's now floating off to his death with Grody's family.
and the hysterical woman, oh my gosh, she would not stop screaming. I was like, throw that bitch in.
Can we talk about, did you guys talk about the denim guy?
That's what I'm talking
in
about.
His jacket?
Is that the denim guy, the cowboy with the big gun that's going to come kill it? And he's floating off on the...
But he's got that sweet, like, feathered design that's made from, like, feathers, probably from eagles.
Yeah. But, like, he comes in, they give him a big, like, walk on, and he's like, it's dramatic, and he's like, I'm going to do this, and I got the big gun and the big bullets, and he floats off and dies within, like, 10 minutes of showing up.
Yeah.
This is very stupid.
Oh, we forgot to talk about the Ben Gardner's boat ripoff scene. They didn't, everything just like in Jaws, things happen in sort of a paced out way. And they're rushing to get to every moment of Jaws as fast as they can. So like they have that moment where they find the fisherman's boat and then they go down and he like the shark in Jaws didn't come aboard Ben Gardner's boat and bite his eyeball out. But I feel like that's what the filmmakers thought happened. So then they're like, this shark came on board this guy's boat and killed him.
Strangled him.
Are there any?
There's still like a extension cord around the guy's neck.
Because let me ask a question, and it just occurred to me: were there any law enforcement? Were there any rescue, like professionals?
They talked about the Coast Guard. They talked about the Coast Guard,
it.
Remember?
So really, what this whole town is dealing with, which is very frightening, and people are dying. They have a guy running for governor and this writer, and they're gonna take care of business with the fisherman guy.
Yeah, that pretty much sums it up.
And they're like, we don't need any cops. We don't need any rescue professionals. We defunded our police.
We're just going to trust this. We don't need any experts. This fisherman will do.
Yeah.
This is the future libertarians want.
You do want a fisherman involved, but I would get the Coast Guard involved. I think they know a little bit.
A marine biologist, maybe. Mm-hmm. You know, Matt Hooper.
Pooper.
For instance.
They needed a pooper, and they were missing a pooper. This movie was stupid.
You can't combine Matt Hooper and Quint. They're two sides of a coin. That's the point of that.
I feel like the movie was saying all these people think that they can take care of business with this shark. All these landlubbers. But this shark doesn't give a fuck. Fuck your feelings is what the shark says. He says, don't be a snowflake. I'm going to eat you. And you're just going to like it.
You come into my house you're not going to like what happens to you.
Oh, he's just standing his ground.
And I really feel like the shark needs to understand that this little area where we swim, and it's not that deep, that's really, just let us have that. You just stay on the other side of the fence, and then we'll just stay here.
It's all metaphor.
Can we have that conversation with sharks?
For isolationism in the 21st century.
You bring up the fences, but they just threw blocks of fence down. But I was thinking, can't the shark just swim over it?
Well, they didn't know how big the shark was.
Yeah.
It's real smart, you guys. You saw him create that cave in.
Yeah.
And he ate that guy's eyeball. He got right on the boat and got off.
Is it possible there's someone out there who is like, this was my Jaws?
I actually, what's funny, there almost certainly is. It's someone like us.
Yeah.
But this was the version they saw. For some reason, their dad had it on VHS, and they never saw Jaws. This is what they saw, and they didn't see Jaws till they were 16.
Yeah.
And they were like, oh my God, but I'm now used to this other version that I love.
Would seeing
there
this
is
first,
at least one nerd that loves this movie.
do you think seeing this first would prevent you from enjoying Jaws?
It might fuck up the experience a little bit.
Think about it.
What if the guy's like, wait a minute, this is familiar. Wait a minute, this movie Jaws, Dad, come in here. This movie Jaws is just like that movie you got called The Last Shark. Except they replaced the boating accident line with something. The chainsaw line was something about a boating accident. Who thinks of a boating accident, not a chainsaw accident? This movie's weird.
Refresh my memory on the chainsaw thing.
Oh, when they found the remains, he said it wasn't a floating chainsaw. They're just gassed up, running chainsaws floating around the ocean.
It's I could have told you that. I don't know shit.
It's just amazing, the moments they chose. How do you think they picked which moments to rip off? Do you think they sat together, 2 or 3 of them in a room and watched Jaws, and they're like, write down everything that you think you'd like to do in the movie, and then when we get together, we'll go through them and we'll each take one off. Until we're down to, a script level story.
Do you think they had to rush through all the Jaws stuff because they took 45 minutes at the beginning to show us that guy windsurfing?
Oh, yeah, that was a long windsurfer. I mean, a long windsurfing session.
Sorry,
That's
Andy.
the proper grammar.
What were you saying?
This movie just thinks if you add more shark, it's going to be a better movie.
Mm-hmm.
Because we saw a lot of the shark in this movie as opposed to Jaws. You didn't see Bruce that much.
Well, because you couldn't, right? Because the shark didn't do what they wanted it to do.
That was a happy accident.
And they recognized that, had to pare it down, and it worked really well. This movie's we don't care if you can tell this is made out of paper mache, and we're going to keep showing you the paper mache.
It looked awesome.
Yeah.
I think that's what they thought, because it's we got this somewhat cool animatronic, and for the time it's awesome, so we're going to show it as much as we can.
This goes back to what Freddie said about it. Feel like a bunch of kids making Jaws, because that's what they're like. They think that shark looks fucking awesome. They can't believe how good their shark looks. They're like, we gotta show this thing off. Look at it. It's a shark.
But it doesn't move.
Its mouth is a little
it doesn't
small.
look like a shark.
But the shark
doesn't look like a great white shark. I don't know what kind of shark that is.
The shark proportions change to the whim of the director, what he could do. Because at times it's just as long as a person, but then it's as big as a boat. And other times it can take down a whole helicopter.
It's because people kept breaking the shark model, and they just had to go out and find a new shark. They're like, oh man, Giacomo dropped the shark model and the fin came off.
Giacomo.
Oh, I like it when the helicopter hits the water because it's clearly a toy, and as soon as the blades hit it, they just stop hard instead of spinning out. They have enough force to move water. It doesn't. It's a toy.
Yeah,
it's made out of plastic.
It's
and they didn't want to break they didn't want to break the toy either, because it's nice. It's a nice model.
It's the director's kids' toy.
They borrowed it. They had to return it at the end of the shoot.
I have such a soft spot for movies like this, though. I mean, I feel like ripping off was more of an art in the 70s and 80s, and then it became too self-aware. I like the idea of the true shyster who is really trying to trick people into seeing a movie.
Mm-hmm.
That's a fascinating thing. And Jaws being the first blockbuster, right? Then it only is natural that you want to see the next big blockbuster and who ripped it off. And that was Star Wars, and Roger Corman ripped it off with Battle Beyond the Stars.
Yep.
Which is what we are going to watch for the next main attraction. And then we'll have a listener pick.
I do expect more out of that because Roger Corman sometimes did something well.
Yeah. You know what? I don't know if I've ever seen this or not.
I definitely, if I have, it hasn't been, I saw it as a child on TV. I really don't, I'm going to say that I have not.
I think we're all going to go into it fresh.
Yeah.
How exciting.
So,
The Last Shark. I thought it was charmingly terrible.
The experience of watching it
charming.
Yeah.
was very fun.
What?
The experience of watching it with you was really fun.
Me?
Yeah.
Well, that's because I'm a fucking hoot and a half.
So if you have a movie buddy, it's definitely a team view.
If you're trapped in the house with somebody.
We had a team viewing. I'm not saying that you won't have a good time with this movie. We did not have a good time with this movie.
That's okay.
And we wanted to. We tried to.
People are different.
We were game.
If you want to play along with the main attraction next week, it's on Prime as well.
Battle Beyond the Stars?
Yep, Battle Beyond the Stars.
Okay.
Directed by Jimmy T. Murakami and an uncredited Roger Corman, who also produced. Written by John Sayles.
Oh my God.
Yeah, who wrote Alligator and the Howling. Yeah.
So, yeah. Since we're getting ready, were we getting ready to thank our patrons?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like Beelzebubs. Well, would you like to know before we do that what my Topicana question is since we've begun to do that at the end of the show?
Yeah.
Yes.
So for this week, my Topicana topic to you guys, and I know we try to stay away from pop culture, but
I'm not going to.
Alise, who is my idea generator for these, came up with another one that I liked. And so my topic that I posed to you is if you could have one television program from any era of television that you could magically enter that television program in that world, interact, and just move throughout the world. You can come back out. But caveat is if you are injured or killed in that world, you are dead or injured for real.
So you don't.
Now, everything that happens to you there extends here, but those things for sure will so you have to be careful.
It's a good one. That's a really good one.
So
I think a very safe show where I won't die.
Mm-hmm.
But
Golden Girls.
See, I talked about Empty Nest this morning because there's this thing. So if you want to yes, you can go to Golden Girls or Empty Nest and it'll be just nice, but you only have one TV show. This is it. That's the only show you ever get to do this with.
So you can never say the F word again or shit.
In that world. You
can come home.
Oh, yeah.
You could say fucking shit. You're in that world. You're in the world.
But if you want it to behave.
All right. Well,
we should determine whether you have to follow the rules of the world you're in.
Of course you do.
Well, that'll be part of the Topicana discussion.
I love this.
But then the challenge is, or if you want something exciting, you want to go to like a Walking Dead situation, like it's exciting, and you can predict, you can come back anyway, that's Topicana.
Yeah, that's going to be a good one.
All right.
I'm looking forward to this a lot.
My wheels are a-turning.
If you want to hear Topicana, just go to patreon.com/NOTLP and support the show at any level.
Okay. At the end of every show, we always say hi to our Beelzebubs. They are the level on Patreon that is producer level. You know?
Yep. I do know.
So I'm going to start with the most important one on the list. Alise Kombrinck.
Thank you for the shake, sweetie.
Shake, shake, shake. Shake, shake, shake.
She came in and gave me a booty shake.
Shake your booty. Hey, Ernest, shake your booty. Amanda, shake your booty. I'm going to stop doing this because it's stupid. Mark Watts.
Yo.
Blake Balake Heath.
Hell you.
Bill Farner.
Hey there, Bill Farner.
tree, and Alex McNulty.
And it is a tall, and it is a very proud tree, and it is a tall, and it is a very proud Alex.
Jeff L, aka Jeffel. We are getting close to giving everybody on here their own nickname. Yeah. I'm gonna work on it some more, or their own catchphrase, like Iona Goodwin.
Iona, great one.
Iona, great one. We've got Branan. Happy belated birthday to Branan.
We're gonna start calling him belated birthday Branan.
And his lovely wife, who also celebrated a birthday recently, Emily.
You can call me.
Through the birthday?
Sorry, we spoke at the same time. I was just going to say
yours is going to be funnier. I shouldn't have weighed in. I'm not
hate
good
you
at
both.
I was just going to say call him Triple B. There you go. Belated birthday, Brandon.
Triple B.
That's so dumb. I'm sorry.
Adam Ingram, not Adam and Steve Ingram.
Oh,
that's not good.
No, that's homophobic.
It's not good.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'll work on it, Adam. If you already have a nickname in your life,
nickname.
You could call him the Atomic Bomb.
We've got Bill Chandler. He already has his own, right? Ghostface Billa, which I think is great. So there's no need for me to do any more work there. Blayne Turner.
We could be like, I take my Turner's Blayne, but with a side of ketchup.
Nicknames are hard.
Yeah, we'll work towards
Blayne
something
Turner
better.
And Hooch?
Blayne Turner and Hooch. Thank you, Kelley.
Oh yeah.
What a great movie.
Monica.
Hey.
She's Mi Corazon Mi Amor.
There you go.
Does that mean the love of my heart?
Alyssa. I'll work on it, Alyssa. But you can let me know what you prefer.
Isn't it just red? Even though it's not, her hair's not red anymore, but isn't she always
used to be
Big
the
Red?
Big Red podcast.
Big Red.
I don't know. We'll work on it.
She's
God
Big
damn it!
Red,
I should never even mention this.
You've painted yourself into
Brian.
Dr. Brian.
Dr. B.
That's how you
And finally, the beautiful Carla Gibson. I'll work on that too. Carla Debbie Gibson.
No, how about Carla the Rock Gibson?
Carla the Rock Gibson.
Yeah, that's not even a nickname. It's just changing her name.
I know.
Do you smell
Carla,
what Carla
instead
the
of
Rock
going by
Gibson
Carla
did?
Gibson, do you mind going by Debbie Gibson? Can you do that for me? That would be great.
That'd be so
because
great.
it would help with this little project I've decided to give myself that I should never have done that. Anyway, anything else?
I'm gonna go by
I
Freddy,
can't think of anything.
the Bottomless Morris now.
I'm into it.
For my bottomless
But you got
curiosity.
you got a nice little bottom on you.
No, I mean like for my bottomless
awesome.
curiosity.
I'm often bottomless at home.
Yeah.
Oh my. All right, listeners, thank you so much. Yes, Andy.
Jason Cretton's birthday.
Yeah, yesterday.
So happy birthday.
belated birthday.
Jason Cretton, you know from Night of the Comic, Whorehound Radio. He's guested on this show before. He's a very nice man, and Elsa misses him terribly.
Oh yeah, she loves him. Oh,
she hasn't seen him in a year.
Yeah.
I don't care about football, but go Chiefs, because I'm rooting against Tom Brady.
But somebody made a really good point, and it was
Wait, is it the Patriots again?
No, it's the Bucks.
Yeah, he's with the Bucks now.
Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
What?
Yeah, and that's the point they were making. They were like
He came to a shitty team and did a thing.
Well, that he got fired from his job and nobody wanted him. Right, is kind of how it was. He was aged out.
Regardless,
Poor Tom. Nobody wants him. He fucks a supermodel.
Yeah, whatever. I don't care what his situation is. He's still Tom Brady.
Yeah, he's icky. He's connected to all the wrong sorts. I feel like
let me say something.
Being Red Scarish.
Because Andy, normally we're on the same page here. I do dislike Tom Brady, but I grew up in the Tampa Bay area, and the Bucks were my team because you always go with your hometown team. That's what you're supposed to do. Now, yes, I've moved to Cincinnati, and I care more about the Bengals, but like it's kind of cool to see the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and plus I like Pirates. I like the theming.
So
Pirates of the Caribbean. It's a great movie and ride.
So did he just prove that he was the Patriot, like that he was the secret to their success?
They're not in the Super Bowl.
Right, that's kind of the thing.
He just brought the cheating to Tampa Bay too. So
Oh yeah.
Well,
he's just a better cheater than Bill Belichick was.
Right. That's what Andy has decided. I'm
Can we bring him
conflicted.
to Cincinnati.
Yeah.
We do that when somebody's like at the end of their sports productivity.
They're put out to
We always-
pasture.
In
Yeah,
Cincinnati.
we always get like a big old Siamese sports celebrity to join one of our teams for a couple years and do badly.
Yeah. That's how we do it.
It's Gristle Firthington of the 1929 Cincinnati Spanglers.
We're getting ready to hire Brett Favre.
Yeah. No,
he's first.
that's
He's
not
first,
true,
though.
right?
No, he's not playing anymore.
Okay, I was like, that sounds almost believable. Like he's like, I'm coming back.
He's moved on. He's like, I'm
That
designing
was the
jeans
joke
for
I was trying to
Wrangler.
make.
Oh, is that real?
Oh, I don't know, honey.
Oh,
But
okay.
I know he was like in commercials for Wrangler jeans.
That was the joke on Blackish.
But it was real.
That they were the new Favres.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Okay. Well, anyway, whatever team you're rooting for,
Good luck.
good luck to you.
Yeah. Anything else, guys?
Yeah. Bye.
Love you deeply.
Bye.